Okay guys, hi and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Emily and I love talking about books. And it's the end of the month, so that means it's wrap up time. And I'm just going to be talking about all the books that I've read in October, which is crazy that it's already over October. I'm wearing my fall sweater. I love it. I wear it all like October round, so yes, anyways. And yeah, I'm just going to be talking about all the books I read in October. It was a really weird reading month. I'd say it was good, but it was also not good. I don't know, really weird. And I wish I would have read more books of my physical TBR because I feel like I haven't done that. Anyways, it's just been all over the place October in general. So anyways, and then I was like, I haven't read enough books, so I was like binge reading a couple books at the end. So but yeah, I feel like I've read some good books. Like I think all of them were over 4 stars or just as Hadwin. And also, I don't know if this is like the first video I'm really putting up from this background. I have moved for uni and this is why this is my new background. I brought all my favorite books with me and those are that up there. And so yeah, that is the setup right now. I was so like happy and excited to film this wrap up, and then this morning I woke up and I saw the news that Matthew Perry, the one from Friends, Chandler Bing, died, and I just wanted to say that. And I'm so sad. I watched a couple of TikToks, like edits, and I was like crying because I love Chandler. He was my favorite from Friends, and I'm just so upset about that. And I don't know, I'm just feeling a little bit sad right now. So just putting that there, that I'm a little bit more calm in this video. But nonetheless, there's some very good books to talk about, and that's very exciting. But yeah, I love you, Matthew Perry, and it's gonna be very different watching Friends. I felt like, especially because it's one of my favorite TV shows, and obviously, anyways, I'm not gonna cry, but yeah, it's been upsetting to say the least. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm crying right now. Anyways, didn't think that would happen. Anyways, I got my good notes here, so I have all memories of the books I read because, like I said, a lot were on my Kindle. Also guys, before we start with this video, please let me know your favorite book that you have read this month and any great book recommendations. Thank you. Anyways, we started the month off with a reading vlog of these 2 books, and those were great. These were so fun. It was obviously Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. I am filming this a little bit in advance, so I'm hoping I can read the new one, A Curse for True Love, at the end of the month, like literally on the 31st or something. But I just can't film it then because I'm going home and it's a mess. Ignore that, but I'm going to talk about that in the next one. But probably gonna give it 5 stars because these were already so close to 5 stars. But yeah, I mean, do I need to say anything? I feel like everybody knows those books, but it's about Evangeline who wants to save her boyfriend from marrying her stepsister because she thinks he was cursed. So she goes to ask Jax to help her not have the wedding because Jax is one of the fates and could actually like stop the wedding. And yeah, then a lot of shit goes down. It's crazy, it's fun, it's amazing, romance is great, and I just love Jax so much. And I love these 2 books. I am so happy I finally read those, and I did also make a spoiler reading vlog if you want to watch it before you read the 3rd one, just in case you like want a refresher of the other books. Then go watch that reading vlog. And also, can we just appreciate my copy? I am obsessed, and also it is signed. So I just need to point that out every time I talk about this book because I am so happy about this copy. Anyways, then we moved on to Arch Nemesis, which is the 2nd in the Renegades series. I want to finish it in November. This is a book series, book trilogy about superheroes and people with superpowers. It's science fiction, it takes place in the future, and can't really say a lot about the plot because it's obviously the second one, and if you want to get my thoughts on the first one, go watch my September wrap up because I read that one in September. So yeah, but it was really good. The ending left me really speechless, and I'm so excited to read the third one. And yeah, that's on that. Then I read some 4 books for a video. Go watch that if you want to see more thoughts and reaction stuff. But I read The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston, which was honestly really cool, and I loved it. It takes place in New York City. It's magical realism with romance, because the apartment the female character is living in is like magical, and when you're in the apartment you slip 7 years in the past, and 7 years in the past somebody else was living in that apartment, and they kind of fall in love, and it is so fun, and like it's so interesting to see how they can be together in a way. So that has been really cool, and I loved it so much. Great writing, just absolutely magical. And later in the month, but I'm just going to talk about it right now because it fits, but I also read The Dead Romantics by the same author, her earlier book, and I can't really say which one I loved more because I love both so much, but I gave that one 4.5 stars. But yeah, The Dead Romantics were so great. They were so cute and so different. It wasn't really a lot about romance, I would say. Like, it was about the female character. She got recently broken up, like over heartbreak, and she kind of believes romance is dead, and then also her father dies really suddenly, and she needs to go back to her hometown and deal with all of that. And that was, I feel like, the main plot. And then as a side plot, she can talk to ghosts, and a ghost from her time in New York City comes, and she's talking to him because he suddenly also died, so they're talking because she can talk to ghosts. And that was that plot. It was kind of crazy, and I was like, the whole time I was like, obviously this is romance, it needs to have a good happy ending, but like, how can they be together, you know what I mean? And I really loved the ending. I mean, it was really cool. Yeah, then I kind of did something crazy because I read Truly Devious and The Hand on the Wall and The Vanishing Star, which is not in order, it is actually that way. So I read all these books again as a reread, but I did listen to these 2 books on audio, so just putting that out there. And then this one I read because I didn't have the audiobook from my library. But yeah, because I read this one also, and this is 9 Lives, which is a sequel to all these 3 books, and so I wanted to be back in the work before. So these 3 books are basically about Stevie Belle, and she is a detective, or she wants to be a detective. Like, she's like 17 years old. She goes to this amazing boarding school with like only like super smart people who have a gift or something, and she wants to solve a mystery that happened, or like a murder that happened in the 1920s around that school. So that is what goes on in that trilogy. She's solving that mystery, and then a now mystery as well where students go missing, and it's very interesting. I love it. I love the friendship in this one. The talk about mental health is really great, and just an amazing book series. And I love Stevie Belle. She is me, so me. It's actually scary. Like, this is the closest I feel like I've gotten to somebody who's like me in a book series, which is very cool. So I love that. And then obviously I did read 9 Lives, which is the new sequel that came out, and I feel like I had to read it in October because of the cover, and just like it felt very autumnal, and it definitely was autumnal. It takes place in London. They are on a little break, her friend group, because she's visiting somebody from the friend group who is studying there for a little bit, and she is trying to solve a cold case while she's there about a friend group in the 1990s where they were on this like big mansion from one of the friends, and then 2 of them were killed. And so Stevie Belle's now trying to solve that mystery as well, because she wants to be a detective, and she's really good. So that was fun. I love this whole trilogy, so I gave each one 4 stars or 4.5 stars because I love it so much. It might even get bumped up to a 5 stars because I just love it so much, but I'm not sure. But if you please go read these books because they are fitting so much to the season. If you got something out of this video, please read these books. They are great for fall. Then I listened to the audiobook Take My Hand through the whole time, but I was just talking about these books for now. And that is an historical fiction book about a woman who is a nurse in the 1970s. I think in the 1970s, yes. And she's black and she's working at this clinic who cares about wait, like I don't know the English word. I hit on a puns. Okay. She is a nurse in this clinic who helps poor African American women with birth control, and so she gives them pills and like shots and stuff like that. And then stuff goes down because the 2 girls she's caring for, who are 11 and 13, so like I feel like way too early for like being on birth control, and especially like back then when you didn't have that much data and science to prove that it is working and stuff like that. And so she's trying to care for them. But then she's in there, and the the boss of this clinic, who is a white woman, is going over there, and the 2 girls have surgery and they're like sterilized. I don't know the medical names for that, especially in English, I'm sorry guys, but they can't have babies anymore. And she's like, yeah, we're doing this because they are poor, and if they were going to be having children, they would not be growing up very well because they're poor and stuff like that. But obviously that is so wrong and stuff. And so the nurse, Sybil Towns, really is trying to work against this boss of the clinic, and there's this big lawsuit because it's just crazy. And I really liked the audiobook, and it was a great storyline and very important and based on true events. So I would really recommend you guys to listen to it because it was just so educational, I feel like, and just really good. Yeah. Then I read You Again by Kate Goldberg, and I sadly had to DNF that book, which is so upsetting, and I wish I would have loved it because I bought the book, I paid money for it, and I love the cover and stuff like that, and I thought I was really gonna love it, but I didn't. It was just I did not like it at all. It was just too 2020s writing, like, you know, when it is written in 2020, you're like, yeah, it's trying to be very like woke and stuff, and it's like not fully working, I feel like. And I just didn't like the main characters, didn't root for them, didn't think they had any chemistry, so sadly I did have to DNF that book. But yeah, that's on that. And then I listened to the audiobook of Sadie and of I'm the Girl, which are both by Courtney Summers, and both very similar, about 2 teenage girls and who grow up on the wrong side of the tracks, I feel like, and are very poor and went through a lot of bad things in their past, and like it's really sad and upsetting. And please check the trigger warning because both of them are a lot about sexual assault, because Sadie is trying to find the murderer of her little sister, and once you like listen or read the story, you know who the murderer is and why she thinks they were murdered and what the murderer did to her in the past when she was a child. It's just so sad and so heartbreaking, but a really great story, and I really liked that audiobook, especially because it had such a big cast of people. Like, there was also this podcast who was trying to solve the murder mystery, what happened to Sadie, because she then a couple of months later disappeared, and so then the podcast starts, but it's all like in the same timeline in the audiobook. I feel like that does not make any sense, but anyway, the podcast, he's interviewing a lot of people and they all have their own voice and stuff, which is just super interesting, I feel like. And then we have I'm the Girl, which is about another girl and her friend's sister also gets murdered, and they're trying to solve their mystery. But it's also about this big resort where this girl from this one side of the tracks is trying to work because they pay really good money, but it's kind of really weird. I'm like, I don't want to work there because it's giving not good at all, and just very wrong, and just crazy shit went down. And I really liked that one too, but I gave Sadie 4 stars and this one 3 stars because I didn't love the plot as much in that one, and I just loved Sadie so much more. So, but great, both really great. Yeah. Then I read The Ex-Hex because it is obviously spooky season and October, and I feel like it was very fitting with the month, obviously. So yes, and it was just a very fun witchy romance, my first witchy romance, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm definitely going to be reading more books in that kind of realm. And yeah, I just really liked it. Honestly, it was so fun and different and just entertaining. And yeah, a great mystery part where she cursed her ex-boyfriend, but then he comes back to town and realized that he's cursed, and they need to like undo the curse because otherwise the town is like over kind of, and it's really bad. So they were trying to work on that, and then also the romance, which was really fun and quirky, and I gave it 3.75 stars. Then I listened to the audiobook of Sign Here. As you guys can see, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and that's how I got like a lot of books read this much, because I feel like I haven't read that many books, like 10-ish, and then 10-ish audiobooks. So I just wanted to preface that, just in case it wasn't obvious that I didn't read, I don't know, 20 books in a month, because no, with uni starting, I have moved and I live in a new place. I could not read 20 books, sorry. But yeah, Sign Here is about a guy who works in hell, literal hell, which is kind of crazy, and he's trying to get this one family to be joined to hell. So he's always like going back to Earth and like talking to people who like want something really badly. Like one girl, she's like, oh my goodness, I need to go into Stanford, I need to be in Stanford. And so he's like, yeah, I can do that if you sign your soul after death to hell, so you're gonna be working with me after you die. Crazy. And yeah, that's what his job is, because he's obviously working in hell. And so he needs that one family, and one of them needs to sign this contract that they're gonna be in hell after their death, and then he can go back to Earth, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, and that's on that. They're just crazy, and you can also like see like stuff from the family that he's trying to get into hell, their point of view and their story, because that is also crazy. So it was just a lot was going on, and I feel like maybe a tiny bit too much, so I gave it 3.5 stars. But very entertaining, perfect for like the spooky season, because hell, obviously. Then I read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, which is sadly my last Riley Sager book that I haven't read yet, so I'm over it. I've read all of his books. If you want like an author ranking or something, let me know. But I'm so sad it's over, and I really like this book. This is basically about a haunted house, and this girl moves back to this haunted house because it belongs to her family. She lived there when she was 5, but then crazy stuff happened, and she and her parents moved away, and then the dad wrote a book about this house and how it was haunted, and they had to flee like ghosts and stuff. And yeah, she's trying to discover like what is actually real, like is it actually haunted, or did her father just like lie, basically. And that's on that. That's all I can say about that book, but very entertaining and super fun. And I was like, in the middle I was like, maybe this house is really haunted, but yeah, it's very fun and I would recommend it, and I gave it 4 stars. Then I read The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm so excited to finally start this new series, as I'm not like in the middle of 10,000 other series. it's fine. Ish. But I basically read that whole book in one sitting until like 1:30 a.m. Like I was really trying to finish it because it was so entertaining and just wanted to know who did what. But yeah, it's basically about Cassie, and she moves to the FBI. So she's working with 4 other teenagers who work for the FBI, and they're trying to solve cold cases. But then there's like the serial killer, because all this woman, and he is kind of linked to Cassie, or they think he's linked to Cassie, and so the cold case kind of gets hot, and they're all trying to solve it, and it's really entertaining and super fun, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I just personally did not like the love triangle, and I feel like it's gonna get way worse in the future, so I'm not too excited about that, but otherwise good. And I gave it 4 stars. And I also listened to the audiobook of The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, because I'm gonna be reading The Brothers Hawthorne next month, so I wanted to listen to it before, just because I did the same with like the Diva series, and I feel like it was a really good plan. So I did listen to that as well, and it was really cool, and I love being back in that world again, and just yeah, we had a lot of rereads this month, so not a lot of new books, but that's fine, mostly. And yeah, I gave it 4.5 stars. Again, I just love the whole universe, found family, mysteries, riddles, all that stuff, but to be honest, it's not my favorite of the whole trilogy, but I'm excited for the new book. And then the last book that I read was The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which is a mouthful, to be honest. Every time I hear the word mouthful, I'm thinking about that book and that movie. If you do the same, then please tell me. But anyways, this book is super fun. It's about a witch who posts her witchy stuff on social media, on YouTube, but she's like pretending it's not real, because witches obviously have to live in like secrecy and nobody can know they're witches and stuff like that for like safe reasons. Yeah, I think so. But then she gets like this call from this man who's like, yeah, can you help me? I have 3 young witches living with me in this big house and they need to be trained. Can you do that? And she's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. So she moves to this big house with 3 small witches who are like 7, 8, 9-ish. And then the old man, his husband, they're like around 70, 80, which is so cute. And then a housekeeper, Lucy, who is 60, I would say. And then Jamie, who is a very grumpy person, around the main character's age. So there's a little romance of that as well. And the found family is great. The witchy vibes were great. The fall vibes were great. It was just a really good book. And I would totally recommend it to you guys if you want to read it. And also, it wasn't like super fall, so you could definitely read it in November and December, because they were talking a lot about Christmas, especially at the end, so that would fit perfectly for that one as well. And yeah, those were all the books I have read. I'm only hoping I can read now the Kiss of True Love, obviously, but yeah, those were all the books I read in October. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I see you in the next one, and bye, peace out.